Welcome to the Moonbeam Mysteries, where we come to sleep. I am Ava, the Moonlight Fairy. Tonight, we will follow Prince Donut to a very special planet called Chickpea Planet. There, Prince Donut drank over 80 bowls of strange mushroom soup in one go. Want to know why? Then lie down. Close your little eyes if you want, and let your thoughts take you into Prince Donut's magical world. Are you ready to join our adventure? Let's start the story and see what happens. After leaving his father and the beautiful pink planet, Prince Donut wandered in space for a while. Even in a small solar system, there are countless shining stars, and he didn't know where to find his star. The stars all have different round shapes. Some look like soccer balls with black and white patterns. Some look like ladies' hats with wide brims. And some look like colorful, fragrant bath bombs. There are also comets with long tails, but their cores are round too. Some stars have people living on them, and Prince Donut had visited some of these stars, leaving a deep impression on him. One small star, which looked like a chickpea, was called Chickpea Planet. It was light yellow and flat, with a pointed bump on one end, and shallow grooves running across the surface. Tall mushrooms grew in these grooves, and Prince Donut was only half as tall as these mushrooms. The mushrooms were of various colors, and from above, they looked like big umbrellas standing on the planet. When Prince Donut arrived, he felt a bit tired after a long journey through space, having recently visited many deserted stars. Prince Donut curiously examined the mushrooms. Suddenly, a boy with light brown hair walked by, not noticing Prince Donut under the mushrooms. Two other boys with orange hair then jumped out from behind another mushroom. They spoke to the light brown-haired boy, looking happy, but the boy didn't respond. Suddenly, the shorter orange-haired boy said something that made the light brown-haired boy shout,
"I'm not a coward. Leave me alone."
Seeing him angry, the two orange-haired boys walked away. The light brown-haired boy sighed, leaned against a big mushroom, and muttered,
"Pepper, you're such a fool. I shouldn't have acted like that."
Prince Donut was confused and decided to get closer to see what was happening. Within 2 minutes, the two orange-haired boys returned, this time with a big, feather-like object. The light brown-haired boy, called Pepper, looked nervous as soon as they approached. But the taller orange-haired boy, eager to talk, didn't notice Pepper's anxiety. This time, Prince Donut heard their conversation clearly. two orange-haired boys invited Pepper to go to other planets with them, but Pepper refused. The big feather-like object was a flying device that could grow large enough to carry 5 or 6 boys like them. It allowed them to jump from one planet to another, like from Earth to Mars. The boys explained how it worked and assured Pepper it was safe, but he still refused. The shorter boy muttered,
"Such a scaredy cat, yet you say you're not a coward."
Pepper, feeling hurt, glared at them and said,
I'm not going. Leave now.
So the two orange-haired boys left again, shaking their heads, unable to understand why Pepper refused. After they left, little Pepper picked up a rock from the ground and threw it into the air, shouting angrily,
You are the cowards.
Just his luck. The rock fell from the mushroom and hit the Donut Prince on the head.
Ouch! That hurt.
The prince cried, holding his head as he walked out from behind the mushroom. Little Pepper heard the prince's voice and saw it wasn't the two orange-haired boys. He quickly ran over to check on the prince. Luckily, the rock hadn't hit him directly, but little Pepper still felt sorry and asked the prince to rest there for a bit. They both sat on top of a big mushroom and started talking. They exchanged names and shared their stories. It turned out that this chickpea star was Little Pepper's star. Little Pepper had just found it and planned to raise his children here once he grew up. So, Little Pepper was still a child himself.
Why don't you play with those two orange-haired neighbors?
The prince asked curiously. He thought Little Pepper was a nice person, just a bit shy. Little Pepper didn't answer, but his face turned red. The prince quickly said,
If you want to talk about it, maybe we can figure out a way to solve the problem.
Because I'm scared.
Scared of what? Flying toys?
I've never played with flying machines.
The prince was surprised because traveling long distances in space without flying machines was unimaginable.
How did you get here then? I mean, from your original planet to your own star.
I came here on my big mushroom. As soon as I got on, I fell asleep. Besides, my dad's star is just over there.
Little Pepper pointed to an oval-shaped star that shimmered with a metallic light. The prince envied Little Pepper for being so close to his dad's star, allowing him to visit his father often.
It's okay to be scared. There's nothing wrong with that. Didn't your dad ever play with flying machines with you?
No. I once fell when I played with a flying machine as a child. My dad is always busy. He's hardly ever home.
Little Pepper looked at the star with a metallic glow.
If I tell them I'm scared of flying, I'd feel so ashamed. My dad is the bravest person ever.
Oh, I see. You don't need to feel ashamed. Everyone has things they're scared of.
What are you scared of?
Well, things I can't face. I'm actually quite scared of the future, not knowing what my star will be like or if I'll even find it. Everyone feels scared sometimes. Everyone has moments of fear. There's nothing shameful about that.
But I'm already an adult with my own star. And I still say I'm scared. It feels so shameful.
Little Pepper said, feeling embarrassed, hoping he could be as brave as his father and fear nothing.
Admitting your fears is a kind of bravery. And you didn't rush into doing something you didn't understand just because others called you a coward. Refusing others is also a brave act. You don't need to be like anyone else.
Little Pepper had never heard anyone say that before. When he and his father were on other planets, the first time he played with a flying machine, it shot out like a bullet before he was even seated properly. Little Pepper fell off and rolled on the ground, getting dizzy. Worse, the other boys laughed at him. Fear and frustration made him never want to sit in a flying machine again. Later, he was teased for being shy and not talking much, for his pale skin that turned red when excited, and for being scared of flying machines, which made others call him a coward. Everyone said he wasn't brave and pointed to the brave boys as examples for him to follow. Gradually, Little Pepper didn't want to go to other planets with his father anymore. His father was always busy making sure all the stars in the area stayed in place, avoiding collisions and cosmic radiation. His father didn't understand Little Pepper's thoughts and had no time to accompany him. So Little Pepper grew more used to playing alone. Admitting your fears is a kind of bravery. You don't need to be like anyone else. These words lit up Little Pepper's heart like a light.
Thank you, Donut Prince. Those are the most powerful words I've ever heard.
Little Pepper said gratefully.
I'd like to invite you to dinner. Please say yes.
The prince nodded at Little Pepper's sincere invitation. Little Pepper happily stood up. He muttered some words the prince couldn't understand to the big mushroom they were sitting on. Then, the other mushrooms around them started swaying gently, as if blown by a strong wind. A rumbling sound came from afar. The Donut Prince stood up and looked toward the sound. It came from the beak-shaped protrusion of the Chickpea star. After a while, the beak spouted water like a fountain. The water flowed down, following the star's grooves to the other side, carrying the swaying mushrooms with it. The rumbling sound and the water flow covered the area the prince could see. Fortunately, after a while, the rumbling faded, and the water flowed along the grooves to the other side of the star, along with the mushrooms.
Come on, let's go. Dinner is over there.
Little Pepper said, pointing to the other side of the star. They jumped off the big mushroom and walked toward the water flow. Luckily, the Chickpea star wasn't very big, and after 10 minutes, the prince saw a small oasis. All the water and mushrooms had gathered in the middle of the oasis. The water pond was as big as a football field, surrounded by strange plants. The water bubbled with steam, and the smell of food wafted out. It was like a giant soup pot. No, it was a giant soup pot with mushroom soup cooking inside. Little Pepper happily walked to the big pot and asked the prince what kind of mushroom soup he liked.
Do you like peppery flavor? I love peppery flavor. Or maybe some potato and ham for a creamy soup.
Little Pepper picked plants around the oasis, throwing bunches into the pot. The Donut Prince watched in amazement as Little Pepper chose the plants.
Any flavor will do. Does every meal on your star have to be such a big event? Isn't it a lot of trouble?
He couldn't imagine what the mushroom soup would taste like. Little Pepper kept picking plants and throwing them into the pot.
It's not trouble. I love making mushroom soup. I can make over 300 different flavors of mushroom soup. These big mushrooms themselves have many flavors. Some crunchy, some soft, some chewy. I can even make crispy mushrooms.
Little Pepper said proudly and happily.
You know, back on my dad's star, there were only 2 kinds of mushrooms, and I could make 15 different mushroom soups from them.
Before the Donut Prince could reply, his stomach growled.
I guess my stomach wants mushroom soup more than I do.
Pepper laughed and picked a big red fruit from a nearby plant. He broke it open and scooped out the inside, making 2 perfect bowls. They each took a bowl and started drinking mushroom soup. It was a kind of soup the Donut Prince had never tasted before. So delicious and rich. He had a second bowl, this time tasting like ham and cheese, silky smooth. The third bowl had a hint of spicy pepper, and the fourth bowl tasted of potatoes and milk. Each bowl of mushroom soup had a new, wonderful flavor. The prince kept drinking, praising Pepper's magical soups, amazed by the different delicious tastes. In the end, he drank over 80 bowls, each one different, until his belly was round and full. After eating, the prince and Pepper walked around the big soup pot. It was almost sunset on Chickpea Star. The sunsets here were far and wide, filling the whole planet with golden light. They stopped to watch, next to a shiny metal planet reflecting the sunset's glow, making it sparkle.
Prince, look, that's my dad's planet.
Pepper said, pointing to the shiny planet. He looked at the soup pot.
My dad used to love my mushroom soup. I miss him a lot. It's been a long time since I saw him.
The prince thought of his own father. This delicious mushroom soup. His father would surely love it too.
This is the best soup I've ever had. Your dad must miss you too. How about we go find your dad and bring him some soup? Would you like that?
Pepper thought about it. To bring mushroom soup to his dad's planet, they would need a spacecraft. He He wasn't angry or refused. He knew the prince genuinely wanted to help him. Besides, he really wanted to bring some soup to his dad. Also, he wanted to travel the universe with his big mushroom, just like the prince. So, Pepper said,
Prince, yes. I want to try.
The prince took out his spacecraft from his bag, a telescope. He placed it on the ground, and it grew big enough for both of them. Pepper picked many red fruits, scooped them out, filled them with soup, and put the tops back on, making them whole again. They loaded all the delicious soup-filled fruits into the spacecraft. They sat on the spacecraft, one behind the other.
Can I fly the spacecraft low around your planet first?
The prince asked, feeling Pepper's hands trembling behind him. Pepper gratefully agreed in a soft voice. So the spacecraft lifted off, flying low and slow, not even higher than the big mushrooms on Chickpea Star. After one round, Pepper asked to go higher and faster. After a second successful round, he asked to go even higher and faster. They flew many rounds around the planet, and soon they were flying as fast as lightning. When they were ready to leave, Pepper's face was red with excitement. He said to the Donut Prince,
Prince, you know, sometimes you have to be brave to get what you want. I think I've gone beyond myself. I'm flying.
The prince felt joy in his heart. Yes, sometimes we have to be brave to get what we want. The prince's confusion seemed to lessen with this realization. They safely arrived at the shiny metal planet. Without waiting to meet Pepper's dad, the Donut Prince said goodbye. Pepper returned to his home planet, very happy. He couldn't wait to see his dad, tell him he could now fly a spacecraft, and let him taste the amazing mushroom soups with different flavors. The prince continued his journey, looking at the vast universe. He told himself to be brave in finding his own planet. The prince felt strong again. Off he went, the Donut Prince. Well, that's the end of our story for now. But the Donut Prince's adventure isn't over. Next time, we'll tell you more about his adventures on other planets. Remember, just like Pepper, sometimes we must be brave to get what we want. When we bravely conquer our inner fears, we can achieve our dreams and grow in ways we never imagined. Now, it's time to close your eyes and let the stars shine on you. Good night. Sleep tight